I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.
All right, let's talk about Money Unmasked. First of all, just the title. I cannot wait to see the open rate on just the title alone. It caught my eye as well. I had a coach of mine highly recommend this book, and when I started diving into it, there were some transformative ideas from this book. It's called Money Unmasked, Unlearn, Unlock, and Take Back Your Control of Your Finances and Life by Garrett Gunderson. I'm going to put the link in the show notes for you to easily grab this on Audible or Amazon. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but not getting ahead financially, or if money feels like this constant source of stress, then you might want to continue to listen to this episode. Money Unmasked for me wasn't just another book on personal finance. It's really a powerful guide on rethinking how you approach wealth, security, time, and freedom. And I was hooked when Garrett kicked off the book with telling a story about his coach, Bab Smith. And as soon as I heard the name, I knew I would get everything he was going to teach. If you've been hanging with me for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of strategic coach. In my opinion, the forefront of entrepreneur coaching. Most entrepreneurs know the name Dan Sullivan. Most entrepreneurs are obsessed with the book 10x is easier than 2x. Well, Babs is Dan's wife and has been the backbone of their success, growth, and innovation within Strategic Coach. I've been to many of her workshops, and she is an absolute groundbreaker in the coaching industry. So I knew this guy, Garrett, was coached by the best of the best and 100% walked his talk if he's hanging out with Babs and Dan. So today, I want to explore the key concepts from this eye-opening book and my takeaways on how to take back control of your finances and your business and your life. And I took away and your team. So one of the core ideas from Money Unmasked was unlearning old beliefs about money. Garrett goes deep into explaining that much of our financial struggles come from the conditioning and limiting beliefs that we picked up over time. We've been taught to believe that money is scarce, that you need to work bloody hard if you're ever going to be successful, that you have to save and sacrifice today to enjoy freedom tomorrow, or that financial success is to how much and absolutely how hard we work, even if we're not effective with our time because we're exhausted. And here's the problem with those beliefs. They keep everybody trapped in a scarcity mindset, even your team, that many attorneys complain that their team do not have growth mindset because the overall essence is how we do everything is heavy, hard, and exhausting. Believing that when things aren't working out or success isn't coming quick enough, we have to work harder and longer hours. I can't tell you how many attorneys I hear that. Cash flow's down, blah, blah, blah. We're backlogged in work and people are leaving at 5 o'clock. Gunderson argues that real financial freedom begins when we start unlearning these limiting beliefs and habits and adopt a mindset of abundance and belief. He challenges everybody to rethink their relationship with money and time, not as something to be hoarded and feared, but a tool to create value, growth, and impact. The takeaway for me is if you want to change your financial situation, you have to change your mindset. And it's hard. You have to let go of scarcity thinking and working harder and longer, and unless you're bloody and bruised and white knuckling everything, and begin embracing the idea that you can create wealth in ways that are in line with your values and your vision and your life. Your life. He consistently shares that when he was stressed most, strapped most, his coach Babs had him anchoring to what I would call backing away from the computer, backing away from the work. His solutions always came to him out in nature when he talks about his favorite place on earth, his cabin in the woods. Walking, stepping away, creating separation and white space. Ask yourself, when the stress, money, and solutions are tight and scarce, is your go-to default to work harder and longer and expect that out of your team and resent them when they don't? How much really has that created additional money, success, and long-term solutions? Versus when you're in the shower or on the soccer field, or like me, driving home from my 5:30 a.m. yoga class, everything becomes so clear. The solution is right there. And guess what? I'm re-energized about going in and tackling it from a place of gamification versus have to. Gunderson introduced this idea of unlocking your financial potential by getting rid of unnecessary complexity. Attorneys, you might not like to hear this, but you overcomplicate things a lot of times. And this is where things get really interesting, because many of us believe that wealth building has to be complicating. Understanding ROIs, KPI, the stock market, real estate investments, creating detailed strategic plans that nobody can understand or implement. But in the book, he argues that complexity is often the enemy of financial success. And the truth is, wealth is built through simplicity, clarity, and consistency, which your team can carry out long game. By simplifying your life, your practice, your financial life, and really getting clear on your vision and alignment, cutting out unnecessary expenses, focusing on your core strengths and your team's core strengths that'll help you buy back your time and gain results, creating a clear strategy for your money, you can actually unlock more financial growth and freedom than you ever could have envisioned. And when you don't get caught up in all the noise and complexity of traditional business building and financial advice, and instead focus on simplifying your time, energy, and aligning them with your core goals, with your team's unique abilities. And the more that you can strengthen and streamline and clarify and simplify, the more empowered and in control you will feel. So let's talk about one of the most profounds in this book, which is about taking control of your narrative. I've said this once, I've said it a million times. Whoever holds the narrative wins. And Gunderson believes that too many people allow their fear, the narrative, the head trash, to drive their financial decision. Fear of losing money, fear of not having enough, the fear of paying people too much, and what if they don't, blah, 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 fill in the blanks. Fear of making mistakes, fear of this not working out, and fear of not having certainty about everything and anything, especially in hiring and letting go of control. Most people call this delegation. This fear often leads to passive decision making, where we rely on others, financial advisors, coaches, the media, TikTok, wherever you get your news from, to tell you what to do with your money. But it's not in line with your vision, your goals, your freedom, your time. So the only way to truly achieve this financial freedom is to take back control, shut down the noise, and becoming the author of your financial story, not a passive participant. Empowering your team and enrolling them into the narrative that wins. And closing out all the external advice that is not in line with your unique values. And to trust yourselves, educate ourselves, educate your team, empower your team, and make decisions that support your personal goals and dreams. And when you're happy and you're present and you're calm, your closing rate goes through the roof, which your money grows. Money Unmasked teaches that financial freedom is not about how much money you have. It's about your relationship to money. It's about living a life where you are in control of your financial choices, where your money works for you, especially with an empowered team, and where you create value in ways that bring joy and fulfillment, including your team. There's a fascinating exercise in this book that helps unpack all of this. And it's called, What Would You Do with X Dollars? And the exercise is whatever the number is that you believe would change absolutely everything for you, your family, your business, your stress, your time, your worry, your wonder. And it begins to build on that. And again, I'll have the link in the show notes for you on Audible or hard copy through Amazon. I'm a huge fan of Audible. I've been loving the book. I could feel his energy and tonality and emotions through it. But go and check that out. It's an amazing exercise, which is what led my coach to drive me to this book. Because when you don't let fear or outside circumstances dictate your decisions, and you educate yourself and trust your team, and take back your financial future, that is when you have the ultimate freedom, financial, energetic, time, etc. He lobbies really hard for living your legacy now. And I love this concept that he talks about because it really flips a traditional idea of wealth building on its head. Instead of working hard, saving, sacrificing. Growing up in a family of 6, absolutely everything was about being the sacrificial lamb and just working hard, constantly, even when you were not making the best decisions and making things worse. It is really with the hope and the commitment, unwavering commitment for you to enjoy your wealth today versus sometimes in the distance, in the future, and really encouraging us to enjoy it today while still building for the future. And how this shift can change everything. I mean, absolutely everything. He argues that too many people postpone happiness and fulfillment because they're waiting to hit a certain number, a certain financial goal. As entrepreneurs, we all have that number. As employees, we all have that number. But life is happening now. And living your legacy means your money to create experiences, impact, and meaning in the present, not just in the future. And this is how your money grows. The takeaway here is simple, but really powerful. Don't wait until you've made it financially. Start enjoying your life, to start enjoying your job, to start enjoying your practice, to start enjoying your clients. You can and will create wealth and live a meaningful, fulfilling life at the same time while having a meaningful, fulfilling practice. And the more you can really align with this mindset and methodology, your money with your purpose and your joy and an empowered team is how you create abundance. And it is true. It may seem very woo-woo, but give it a try. Empower your team. Use a book as a book club as you go into Q1 2025. And surrender to this concept and have fun with it. Because Garrett's book and his philosophy is that honestly, and you hear me talk about this on my podcast all the time, wealth is not just about money. It's about value creation, difference making, true purpose in your why will constantly create value, both for yourself, for others, for your team, who I believe are the real financial freedom secret. And when you're not white knuckling it with scarcity mentality, that's how your team get behind you and your wealth grows. It goes way beyond earning or accumulating money. It's about making impact, building relationships, contributing to something bigger than yourself. And this is why I'm so passionate and obsessed with the roles like CSC and a COC. One of the most liberating ideas in this book is that you can create wealth by doing what you love and adding values in the way that feel aligned with who you are, and then bringing people into your circle of influence, who are locking arms and aligned with that, your team. When it's not heavy and hard, when it's not bigger, better, faster, hustle culture, what have you, and we stop thinking of wealth in purely financial terms and start seeing as a reflection of the value we bring to the world. And no, you don't have to go it alone, but you're sharing this with your team and you're carrying this energy forward and you're implementing his framework, and your team is carrying this out in your intake and your non-attorney sales roles, your community outreach coordinator, your client care campaigns, your yesterday's news and leaky bucket lead capturing, value alignment, difference making, empowerment, and trust creates financial freedom and money in mind. And no, wealth is not just about money. It's about really creating that impact. When you focus on adding value to the people around you, in your community, your referral sources, your power partners, within your marketing efforts, with your internal customers, your employees, your team, wealth becomes a natural byproduct. And how freeing is that? It's not so heavy and hard. It's really, truly freedom, and the importance of freedom over security. Too often I see attorneys and entrepreneurs prioritize financial security, saving, protecting, holding on to what they have at the expense of freedom. And this is one of the challenges I love that Gunderson has in the book, is to flip that mindset. Instead of really seeking security by clinging to what we've earned, he really encourages and has a challenge in the book about seeking freedom by creating opportunities, taking calculated risks, trusting in your ability to adapt, pivot, and grow, trusting in your team's ability to give you the data and information, and for them to come with proposed solutions on what your next right move is to adapt, scale up, elevate, which ultimately comes to financial freedom. It's such a powerful shift when you can prioritize freedom and open yourself up to a new mindset and possibility. Whether it's you stepping into the CVO and stop wearing so many hats, investing in your team's personal and professional development, investing in coaching and consulting for you to have that accountability to keep moving forward. Maybe it's your next passion project. Financial freedom isn't just about having money in the bank. It's about having the ability to live life on your terms. And this is where I see so many attorneys fall flat. There's so much noise out there. We're trying to implement something that so-and-so on Facebook implemented, but their values aren't even aligned with yours. They don't have kids, they don't have pets, they don't have hobbies, and their values are just about work, work, work. Is that in alignment with yours? The goal is stop letting fear hold you back. The goal is to stop listening to all the noise out there and get incredibly still and silent and real and know your number. Know your number in regards to hours and to self-care, and really to move into the place of shifting your mind that you don't have to go alone and unlearn the limiting beliefs. Simplify. This term just kept stepping out to me. Simplify your financial lives. I'm not talking about, being a penny pincher. It's about taking control of your financial mindset, narrative, and decisions, and the legacy that you want to focus on with value creation rather than just accumulating. And it reminds us that true wealth is about freedom to live authentically, create impact, and enjoy the journey along the way. And I know that sounds so woo-woo, the whole work-life balancing, but when you have a team locking arms with you on this journey, it is all possible. And if they're going to hold you accountable to where you're becoming a sacrificial lamb, so if these ideas resonate with you, I highly recommend grabbing a copy of Money Unmasked and diving deeper into Garrett Gunderson's insights and teachings. Create a book club with your team. What a perfect time at the end of the year, the beginning of the year, to start from this place. And create a culture of accountability where they will hold your feet to your dreams, sometimes in spite of yourself, and remind you of truly what the definition of freedom and wealth and our relationship with money is. So, if you're ready to take control of your financial future, I highly recommend you download the book. If you're looking for ways to empower your team, get them enrolled, opt in to our blogs, our pocket coaching, and our podcasts that we drop every single week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and get your team on our list to really start figuring how they can support you with living your legacy today. Until next time, remember, you are the author of your financial story, and make it one that you are really, really proud of and aligned with.
I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.